With just a few tiny tweaks to your daily routines, you can turn seemingly boring moments into extraordinary opportunities to develop your baby's cognitive abilities, language skills, comprehension, fine and gross motor skills, and lots more. I'm talking about really small, easy changes, but the impact on development is huge. Let's start with a really effective way to boost your baby's language and cognitive development. We know that babies learn through repetition, so think about some of the most repetitive tasks you do each day with your baby, like changing their diapers, dressing them, giving them a bath, feeding them, or doing chores like laundry or cooking. These all provide a perfect learning opportunity if you know how to take advantage of their repetitiveness. Instead of doing these tasks in silence, talk your baby through each step using simple, grammatically correct language. For example, during bath time, you could start by saying it's time for a bath as you walk into the bathroom. As you turn on the water, you might say, turn on the tap. And while undressing your baby, you could narrate each step. So you might say, take off your pants, take off your diaper, take off your shirt. When it's time to turn the tap off, you could say, turn the tap off. And then when it's time to lower them into the bathtub, you might say, time to get in the bath. Then you would just continue the conversation by saying, washing your arms, let's wash your legs, wash your back, wash your bottom, all done. And when bath time is over, you could finish it with bye-bye water as you take them out of the tub. When you repeat the same words during activities like bath time or mealtime, your baby starts to recognize and remember these words. For instance, when you say wash as you rub soap all over your baby's body, they start to associate the word wash with the action of washing. This consistent repetition not only boosts their ability to remember words, but also helps them understand their meanings, which is important because before your baby can start talking, they first need to understand what that word means and how they sound. Therefore, hearing the same words over and over helps them slowly understand and eventually try to say those words themselves. Additionally, the steps in these activities help them grasp the fundamental concept of cause and effect, which is simply when they do something, something else happens in response. For example, you turn on the tap and water comes out the spout. This understanding that their actions can cause a reaction is what motivates them to move around, communicate with you, and interact with the world. Research consistently shows that the more words babies hear before they reach the age of 2, the stronger their vocabulary and reading abilities will be later in life. Now, I just covered one way that you could do that, which is by talking them through things as you do them with your little one, but you can also significantly increase the number of words they are exposed to by reading to them daily. A study conducted by Logan and colleagues revealed that reading just one picture book every day for a year exposes your baby to approximately 78,000 words. But the benefits go even further than just exposure to new words. The act of reading together, so sharing the same page and discussing it, helps your baby associate the words you speak with the images they see, which helps them understand what those words mean, and that builds their comprehension skills. Books also introduce your baby to new words they might not encounter in their daily environment. For example, if you live in the city, farm animals aren't going to be a part of your baby's daily life. But by reading a book about farm animals, your baby can learn words like cow or sheep. And as you may have already figured out, this broad exposure to language then forms a really strong foundation for their future reading proficiency. Now let's move on to the next one, which is great for bonding, secure attachment, communication, and social skills, as well as cognitive development. It's called serve and return. Think of serve and return as a game of tennis, but instead of hitting a ball back and forth, you're exchanging smiles, words, and gestures with your baby. Your baby kicks off the game by serving something to catch your attention, whether it's a smile or a glance or a little coo, especially in those early months. Your role is to return their serve by responding. You might smile back, chat with them, or offer comfort if they're fussy. After you respond, you give your baby a moment to process your return and react. They might serve again by smiling or making more sounds, which at that point you would return their serve once more. This serve and return interaction continues until your baby signals that they're done or ready for a change. So it might look a little like this. Your newborn looks at you and smiles. That's a serve. You smile back and say hello. That's your return. Then your baby smiles even wider and starts moving their mouth. That's their next serve, and you mimic them by opening and closing your mouth in response. This game goes on until they look away, ending the game of serve and return. Each time you play serve and return with your baby, you're actually helping their brain grow. When you respond to their cues and interactions, you're creating new connections in their brain and developing their communication and social skills. For example, when you talk to your baby and react to their sounds and movements, you're showing them how conversations work. This helps them learn that conversation is a back and forth interaction. Plus, when you respond to their serves by talking back to them, they get to hear all sorts of words, and this exposure is really important for their language development, as it helps them grasp the meaning of words, which, as you now know, is one of the first steps they need to master before being able to use them independently. If you want to know when you can expect your little one to start talking, as well as the other exciting developmental milestones they'll achieve in their first year of life, make sure you get my free developmental milestone chart by clicking the link in the description below this video. Now, you might have noticed that everything I mentioned so far requires you to be involved and attentive the whole time. But this next strategy doesn't require your direct involvement at all. And that strategy is play. Play isn't just about having fun. Through play, your baby also develops crucial life skills. Here's one example of how play leads to a broad range of developmental benefits. Imagine your baby is sitting on the floor playing with a ball. When they try to grab it, the ball rolls out of reach. Instead of getting upset, they shuffle forward and grab it. This seems insignificant, but there's a lot going on below the surface. Firstly, by not giving up when that ball rolls away, your baby learns to handle little setbacks. This helps them develop emotional strength and teaches them to keep trying, even when things don't go their way, building their confidence. As they think about how to get the ball, they're actually solving a problem. This improves their thinking skills as they figure out that they need to move forward to reach the ball. Finally, reaching for the ball helps your baby develop physically. Moving forward and adjusting their grip to grab the ball improves their fine and gross motor skills. These fine and gross motor skills are foundational skills your baby needs to brush their teeth, use cutlery, get dressed, write, run, participate in sport, and so much more. Now, one quick note here. The key to many of these benefits that I just mentioned is that it is independent play, meaning it's actually important from a developmental perspective to have those periods of play without you assisting. If we were to take the example I just mentioned and you were there to pass the ball every time it rolled away, your baby doesn't get the opportunity to experience setbacks and develop those other skills that I just mentioned. Now, an important part of independent play is providing age-appropriate play experiences, and this includes selecting suitable toys for your baby's age and development. If the toys are too complicated, your baby might get frustrated and stop playing. But if you give your baby the right toys for their development, they will happily explore and play with those toys. To help you choose suitable toys for your baby, I've got a few different videos based on different age ranges that are going to pop up around me somewhere. So go ahead and click the ones that are most suitable for your baby and watch that next. These are my favorite toys for each age range that are great for development, foster independent play, and they're also lots of fun.